Hello everyone, welcome back to ThoseYGOguys. I'm your host Alessandro. So, about a couple days ago, the Ultra Reality Games, also known as ARG, have released their own ban list because, well, they decided to form a committee and they don't want to wait on Konami to really decide, oh, we're going to put up a ban list right now or whenever, said certain date. So they're gonna apply this list for the next 4 ARG events, and so they form a committee based on quote-unquote respectable players and judges to form this list. So, of course, briefly I'll just go through the list and I'll give you my thoughts and opinions. And that also, I will leave a link to the article down below, and at kind of like below the list they bring out their explanations and all that stuff. But you know, you want to hear what I think about it, obviously, if you're watching this video. So for banned, they banned Djinn Releaser Rituals, Fusion Gate, Laval Chain, Necrosa Trishula, Royal Magical Library, and Vanity's Emptiness. Restricted to 1, Seer Malbranch of the Burning Abyss, El Shaddai Construct, El Shaddai Fusion, Elemental Hero Bubbleman, Elemental Hero Stratos, Instant Fusion Mistake, Necrosa Unicorn, Windup, Karas, and Mighty. Restricted to 2, we have Dante, Traveler of the Burning Abyss, Dragon Ravine, Insector Hornet, Rescue Rabbit, Summoner's Art, Torrential Tribute, and Windup Magician. And finally, no longer restricted, which you can play as 3 of, Chaos Sorcerer, Darkhold, Glow Bulb, and Sacred Sword of 7 stars. Okay, so now comes what I think about the list. Some of the changes I like, others I think is really bad, and their reasoning is just horrible. Alright, so let's start off with the ban section, you know. Let's start with Djinn Releaser Rituals and Vanity's Emptiness. They explain why they banned them. There were 3 cards that were almost, if not all, of the committee's members' list, and these were 2 of them. These cards do not allow you to play the game, and it makes the game less fun. Okay, Djinn Releaser Rituals, okay, I can understand that, especially with Konami wanting to promote their ritual products, future ritual archetypes, which, if you've been keeping up with the OCG news, they are kind of pushing a little more. I can understand that. Djinn Releaser Ritual, if it gets banned, the ritual decks still be fine. There are a few people who are a little butthurt about, no, don't hit Djinn Releaser Ritual, but honestly, your ritual deck is going to be fine. I don't understand why a few people are a little butthurt. Vanity's Emptiness, I think, is extreme. And I think it's ill-necessary to ban it. Honestly, it was fine at 1. If it was like at 3, okay, I can understand that Vanity's Emptiness needs to get hit in some shape or form under the ban list. Of course, back when Cleaforts was a thing, they can run like triple burn, Vanity's Emptiness and triple skill drains and not being affected under it, and probably what people kind of consider the final nail to the coffin when Yosenju can play with 3 Vanity's Emptiness and so on and so forth. Okay, look, Vanity's Emptiness, especially with this clause that, if a card from your side of field or that gets destroyed, or a card from your deck that goes straight to the graveyard, it self-destructs. So, and looking at the list, like, you have 1 Raigeki, 3 Dark Holes, 2 Torrential Tribute, on top of all the spell and trap removals, and you're telling me that 1 Vanity's Emptiness is too much for you? While we're at it, we might as well just ban, by using that logic, we could just ban Fossil Dyna, or Vanity's Fiend, or so on and so forth. But this is ridiculous. I don't agree with this mindset one bit. Alright, moving on. There's a reason why they brought back Stratos, but of course they had to ban Fusion Gate and, of course, putting Bubbleman to 1. Bubble Man, I don't think it really needs to go to 1 instantaneously just to bring back Stratos. I mean, if you look at OCG, I mean, it was, I don't know, I would be fine if it was like a 2, but I don't know. But I'll do the Fusion Gate, and then I'll talk about heroes real quick. Fusion Gate, I mean, they talk about to eliminate potential OTKs from Blaze Phoenix, which combos with heroes. Okay, if you look at back in January 2014 list, Konami has limited Divine Wind of Mist Valley, and of course Gen X Ally Birdman, because there was this combo combined with the Harpy's Dancer that you could form in, that you can easily make Blaze Phoenix OTKs or FTKs. I don't remember how that goes. But honestly, wouldn't it make more sense if you just hit Blaze Phoenix instead of the Fusion Gate? That's what I'm kind of confused about. And if you're really worried about Electrum FTK or OTK based decks, I mean, look, hand trap is a thing. On top of that, you have to run some really bad cards to really utilize a deck. And who's gonna bring a deck like that to an ARG event, competing against probably one of the top tier decks, which I will spoil it for you in case you guys have not noticed. Satellarknights and Cleaforts have not been hit. Well, minus Clifford with the Summoner's Arc too, but that's irrelevant if you already know about Wavering Eyes. I mean, seriously, why are they freaking out about, like, oh, Fusion Gate is too powerful? I mean, honestly, going back to Heroes as a whole, people argue that, you know, they need Stratos to be heroes to be competitive. But honestly, I think heroes, at the current stuff they have in the TCG, they have ways to be competitive. I mean, thanks to Matthew Mills from the UK top 32ing at Euros. I mean, heroes can be competitive. It's not like, oh, you need Stratos to win games. Not really. But oh gosh, I haven't even gotten to the worst part of the list. Oh gosh. Okay, this is gonna be fun. Alright, my favorite one, Lavalval Chain. Because they don't like Lavalval Chain because it's an enabler for combo-based decks. They talk about it is a centerpiece of Degenerate FTK's Blue Blood Oni, overpowered combos, Infernities, and lock strategies, Jin. Okay, first off, Jin. You just banned Jin. What? I mean, it's like being on a dead horse. Like, why are you really banning Lavalval Chain to begin with? Second off, Infernities. Alright, I'll be honest. I love Infernities to death. And I respect to the people who keep working on keep on playing Infernities. And I admire that. Even I'm trying my best to keep playing Infernities. But the thing is that, and that includes with the Blue Blood Oni FTKs. Like, if you're really worried about Lavalval Chain this so much, like, wouldn't just limit be a little bit more of a fairer argument than just ban it just outright? I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you don't like enablers that sets up gameplays, then we might as well have to throw in like Armageddon Knight, Dark Grepher, Mathematician, which those cards are not hit on lists. I don't know. This is just... Okay, Necros of Trishula. Honestly, I may not be the most Necros expert player, even though I don't own a Necros based deck, even though I would like to in the future somehow. Hopefully the price will go down on some cards, but that's besides the point. Trishula is like that. Is that bite the offensive power of Necros. And they say like one committee member that wrote that Trishula is so much more powerful than every other card that is currently legal and is only part of Necros that makes it dominant. If we outright ban the card, Necros is still a playable deck, but it is still not the dominant deck. Okay, look at all the hits and let's combine with the limited section of Unicorn. I think they've gone overboard with Necros. Like, I can understand limiting Unicorn to weaken the Kaleidoscope play, which then will weaken the rank 4 plays, which you could go into Laval Chain and all that good stuff. But I think this is a little bit too much. You're just going overkill. Just, like, I don't know, like, I wonder, like, who are these committees? Like, honestly, like, who are these committees? And, like, are they that salty about Necros? Look, I may not be the biggest fan of Necros, like, how they are currently played, but even I wouldn't go that far of murdering the deck. At least they didn't, like, limit Senju and Menju on top of that, which, that would be just ridiculous right there. Which I don't think both of them needs to go to 1, which I've seen other people's arguments in their own banlist prediction videos. And on top of that, another list I've seen was they banned Necros of Trishula, but they brought back Synchro Trish. Like, you do realize that the Necros of Trishula can only be played in 1 deck. On top of that, there needs to be at least 1 card in all 3 designated areas, which is in the graveyard, hand, and field. If there's no cards in either one of those 3 designated fields, you cannot really Trish them. On top of that, I mean, going with how Konami goes about the way of the game, look, there may be some ridiculous things we might think like, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. But then, like, as time progresses, you just kind of like adapt and just like, you know, you get Trish, okay, but I mean, I don't know. I think this is overkill what they did to Trish. I mean, you can say like they still have Gungnir and Decisive Armor and all that, but to me, I kind of view like Necros of Trishula as like the boss monster of Necros. I think that seems like a more fair argument. Like it's that 1 card that is like the big centerfold offensive power card of the deck. Kind of like how Judgment Dragon is for Lightsworn, Grapha is for Dark World, so on and so forth. Okay, so Unicorn, okay, I can understand more because, you know, to weaken the longevity of the game and of course the Kaleidoscope plays and all that. Fair enough. I think I already mentioned that one. Oh well. Royal Magic Library, I already talked about this card, so there's no real introduction for me to talk about it. Seer and Dante. Dante to 2, I think it's a more fair hit on that one, and I could see that one happening. Seer, some people argue that Graph should be hit. Other people say like, you know, Seer's the one. I can understand why Seer is kind of caused a little loop, whereas Graph is like, okay, Graph goes to grave. I special my Burning Abyss to my side of the field. I already set up my Fire Lake play. I mean, you can make an argument either or. I don't know. El Shaddai Fusion and El Shaddai Construct. I think this is a tad bit overkill with Shaddolls. Granted, I do understand that Shaddolls is not a deck to be underestimated, and I agree on that one. But the way I kind of, like when I did a prediction on the list, it was like, kind of like one or the other. Both is kind of extreme. I mean, considering that Shaddolls haven't really, like, overall in the entire format, even though they won Euros and maybe start off strong in the beginning of the format, they didn't really do a lot in this entire format. I don't know. I think it's a little bit overkill. Instant Fusion, preemptive hit for Nodin. Honestly, I don't think Konami's gonna immediately do it. If they do, I'll be surprised, but I think they're gonna wait until the tins are gonna release, and then by October, then it's like Well, actually, they didn't say a set date, so we don't know. Sometime in the fall, they'll be like, okay, Instant Fusion good to 1. You have your fun with Noden. Thank you for buying our products. Enjoy the game. I can see that Konami, how they do things. Mistake. Mistake is a floodgate card, and having 3 of a floodgate card has not been a good thing. Okay, so would that also imply with lose 1 turn, goes in match, Rivalry of the Warlords, Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, Light Imprisoning Mirror? Like, if you have this problem about floodgates, like, I don't know. I'm a little bit, I'm juggled between mistakes. I don't know. Sometimes I kind of wonder if the committee members are Necros players and they're just butthurt about mistake, which that could be a possibility, a fair argument. I don't know about that one. But at the same time, like, knowing that we're getting the Wrongful Arrest, which is a quick play spell card from this upcoming, the Clash Rebellion set, that acts kind of like a mistake, but for only 1 turn. Maybe, but I don't know. This is kind of a little rush right there. Wind Up Magicians and Mighty. Wind has had their time. Shockmaster is still banned. There's no point really to keep them locked up on the ban list. Dragon Ravine. Honestly, this thing could go to 3. Dragons are banned. I don't know why they're freaking out about Dragoonies. Especially with hand traps, which Dragoonies kind of lose to. As sad as it sounds, they kind of do lose to in a way. To hand traps, unless you outsmart the opponent. Like, they effect veil their ducks and you have the Dragooni Armored Mistleton. I mean, okay, but still, to be honest, Dragoonies, I don't think they're going to do a whole lot. Like, make that huge of an impact. Inzektor Hornet to 2. Sure. I mean, gives Inzectors, I mean, they kind of had their time. Rescue Rabbit to 2. I guess. I don't know. Some people would say it's a bad idea because of Ignites. But then again, you also have the Rescue Hamster. I don't know. That one's... it's a toss-up right there. I don't know. Summoners are to 2. They said they hit Cliff Force, but I mean, like... not looking at, like, Wavering Eyes and how the game has progressed for the Cliff Forts, I mean, honestly, it's not like a really that significant of a loss for Cliff Forts. And still, I think of all decks under this ARG list, Cliff Forts and Satellinites are, like, going to be the most favorable decks to go into those first 4 events of ARG. I don't know. Torrential to 2. Honestly, I felt like, you know, I know people complain about Raigeki and Dark Hole, but Torrential is very interesting because of the fact that Torrential, you can respond to your opponent's play during their turn. And if they can't seem to capitalize it, they're going to lose really quick. So I don't know. I mean, and no longer restricted, don't care about it. I mean, I think those 4 cards are fine. Overall, my personal take with this whole ARG list, I think it's a bad idea to let players to decide what to get hit, because first off, you have to take account of biasing, because you know that there's no hits for Satellinites. There's barely a touch on Cliff Forts, which, I mean, you can say, like, well, you could play around it, which, okay, fine, but I don't know. I don't really like how these lists are being constructed. On top of that, I really wonder, like, who's in this committee? How many sample sizes? Like, what is the sample size? Like, how many members of the committee? And do they only take in other people's perspective, or is it just only the ones within the community? Committees. I don't know. It's just, look, as much as I don't always enjoy Konami's ban list, at least they don't show that much biasy. Of course, they want to promote their products, their current archetypes, obviously, because they're a business, they're a company. I mean, the one thing they do good about is they try to promote their newer products. Honestly, and I also think that these committee members are driven by emotions that, you know, something you cannot really have a workforce of a company to allow emotion to get in the way. So overall, some of the hits I do like, others I think it's ridiculous. I feel like they have rushed it. And honestly, does this really pertain to me that much? No. I don't go to ARG events, nor did I have even the time nor the travel expense to even go. So really, this is how much I really care. So this is, as I said, this is not the ban list that Konami posts. Eventually, Konami will release its ban list. When? Who knows? But I think, as I said earlier, it's been rushed. The mentality is kind of poor. It's piss poor. I think that's all I have to say about this list. I mean, I don't know how I feel about this list, really. Leave a comment down below what you guys think. If you have any questions or anything you want me to address, feel free to comment. I'll try my best to answer them. And yeah, I'm about done with this nonsense. Hopefully, Konami can give us a list that I can just breathe, rather than have to deal with idiotic people making a list. And I'll be honest, I don't even make a good list. I'll be honest with that one. But this is just, I don't think there's no real logic into it that much. That's my personal opinion, and this is how I feel from other people's, from watching the from their videos, like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Council, Drew from DPYGO, and so on and so forth. Now the real question is what do you guys think about this list? Do you like it? Do you hate it? You are very indifferent, and you're just waiting on the Konami's list, like everyone else? Feel free. I'm your host, Alessandro, and I hope to see you guys later. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.